Hey, what's up, my healthcare enthusiasts? I hope all is well. Welcome back to Absolute Knowledge with Samson. Disclaimer. On today's episode, we will be talking about how to become a CNA in the main places CNAs are employed. May not be all the places, but the main places they are employed. You or somebody else. So let's get it started. So on today's episode, again, we will be talking about how to become a CNA in the main places CNAs are employed. What does a CNA stand for? CNA is an acronym for Certified Nursing Assistant. How to become a CNA? Take a certified program. An advanced program could be 4 to 6 weeks long, and a long-term program to become a CNA can be from 6 to 12 months. So you can choose your program. Everybody has free range in choosing their program unless you're automatically placed into a CNA program through your college or university. Most schools tend to do that in certain states, put you inside of the program during a semester of class. So, just see how your university work, or if you're doing this before you even go to a university, or however you want to do it, just check and make sure you know the dates or the length of time that you have to do something, especially if you're somebody that is paying out of pocket, one, and somebody who has to work in order to make a living still while going to school. You want to know the program that you're getting into. You don't want to just say, oh, I found a CNA program, I'm finna get into it. And then you find out the CNA program 6 months, and then you have start clinicals, and you can't do it because you already did 6 months of doing schooling, and now you're tired, or you can't they can't give you the time to get off or anything to that nature. But anyway, know the time frame of your program so it can fit your schedule better. So in order to actually take the exam, you have to make sure this is a certified school. You have to also make sure you do clinicals. Most CNA schools want you to do 100+ hours of clinicals or in class hours, but mine was 85 hours. Mine was 85 hours, but anytime I try to take reciprocity in another state or anything, they always ask, have I did 100 hours or my experience? So no matter how many hours you usually do, as long as you do the school, you get your hours, you do your clinicals, you can sit and take the written exam. So it's like a multiple choice exam, and after you take that multiple choice exam, it's a hands-on exam where the actual test advisor or administrator will come to your building, or you'll come to a facility where they're doing the testing, and she'll watch you actually hands-on with a mannequin or a fake patient that they're using for that time being, and you'll actually interact with the patient or mannequin and show how you would do a bed bath, how you would wash your hands, all the things that you would do if you were actually working in a facility and you had to go meet that patient and take care of that patient. They want to see how you can do it and you do it comfortably. I've been in a class where a girl messed up and she just started crying. So it's not even about messing up, it's more about fixing what you messed up, but staying on track at the same time. So you fix it, and then you say, oh, I'm apologizing. Oh, is it too high? Or you ask the question that you forgot to ask. Just remember, be calm. You mess up, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Go back your steps up, say what you need to say, or do what you need to do, and then continue. But don't take too long on it as well, because you're timed also. So that is more of the oral part of the test. All right. What are the CNA job duties? So basically the CNA job duty is to assist patients with needs and assist nurse in patient care. So not only are you taking care of the needs of the patients, you're assisting the nurse in. So many people as a CNA think that they're going to just go in there and take care of the patient. No, you also got to make sure you're running the floor or assisting in running the floor, answering the phone sometimes, making sure that the names are right for the rooms, making sure you update the boards, update any information that has to be used on a daily basis. So it's not just watching the patient. So you're not going to work and just watch the patient, boom, I'm gone. No, it requires a lot of different parts in order to run this job smoothly. So also, what is the average pay range for a CNA? Everybody want to know, oh, how much you make? How much you make as a CNA? Oh, she been here 15 years. Okay. The average pay range is, for most states, are between $10.24 an hour or $19 an hour. Yes, some people make more than that, but I'm giving you the average range for most states. The mean is $13.27 an hour. That is the mean for working as a CNA in different fields. That's the mean. So why should you become a CNA? Most people become a CNA, or I became a CNA in order to enter the healthcare field. Before then, I was not in the healthcare field, and so I knew I wanted to get into the healthcare field. And there's other options, but one of the easiest ways, besides the other options, is to become a CNA. Actually, go and get certified. And with the programs being 4 to 6 weeks, and I was working, I was able to go to the school at 5:30 to 10:30 after I got off work. So yes, I was probably working. I think I was working 5:30 a.m. to like 4:30 p.m. Then going to class from 5:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So it's dedication. It's definitely dedication. When you're trying to change your life or trying to start something new in your life, it's all about that dedication, that attitude, and you got to put forth what you want to get out of it. So definitely stay focused. One of my biggest things was I was working, and that's where you all need to definitely know the time frame that your program is in between, because you don't want to be thinking it's a 6-week program and it's a 8-week program. So, and you don't want to think, oh, it's going to be at night, and you find out that the classes are in the morning. Actually take the time to get to know what time is the class, when it's going to be held, what days it's going to be held, and how many hours in the day it's going to be held. That will help tremendously. I did all of that, and my clinicals was actually moved up an hour early for clinicals than my class was normally going. So I actually had to resign from my job the last week of class to do my clinicals in order to be able to take the test. And I jumped out. That was a leap of faith. And I went out and I told them, if you're not going to allow me to leave, then I have no choice but to resign. And I talked to the supervisor, and I spoke to her, and the supervisor literally told me, she said, in the long-term aspect, you'll make way more money going and getting your education in the healthcare field than you will make here. If you want to come back, you left here great, you resign, you want to come back, I'll bring you back. But, take your education seriously and go get whatever you want to get. And so I said, okay, I'm resigning. And I was out of a job for 3 weeks after I did clinicals. So it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely a leap of faith, a step of faith. And you have to have that attitude, and you have to know what I'm going to do. And I'm going in here and I'm going to do it as hard as I can so I can get exactly what I need. So that's what I did. So it's an entry-level way to get into the healthcare field, to start understanding the healthcare field, or knowing a little bit about it, and knowing if you actually want to continue to do it, because it doesn't take as long to get. All right. So make sure that when you do become a CNA and you don't like it, you can't stand it, figure out what do you like, because you may still like to be in the healthcare field, but in a less clinical way. So, and it's so many opportunities to be in a less clinical environment, called non-clinical. So we definitely got it. Even if you wanted, to be a secretary, you're still in the action, but you're not taking a part of the action as much as most people. So you have 3 different jobs that a CNA can do. It's multiple jobs that a CNA can do, but the categories are usually the hospital, the nursing home, and then home health. So in the hospital, a CNA will do blood pressures, blood sugars, transport a patient, secretary duties, different units, different duties. So if you're on a burn unit, you may be helping bathe a patient with different solutions in order to make sure that their skin integrity is kept, but their infection is also low. So I may work on a ICU unit where I'm not having to do blood pressures because most of those people are already connected to their blood pressure, but I'm still doing blood sugars. I'm still maybe changing or cleaning that patient, helping that patient eat if they can eat, and then assisting with anything else that may be needed. Now, on a regular floor, let's say if I was on a med surg floor, people are going in and out all day. Surgeries are being done, and they're coming back pre-surgery. They're there, and then post-surgery they're there as well. So you have to help them as they're about to go to surgery, and then you got to help them when they come back from surgery with recovering in their room after they have already recovered in PACU. So it's different job duties for wherever unit you may be on, because you may be in a CDU, where that's a clinical decision unit, and they're just doing blood draws, and most of those patients don't have any infections. They're just trying to figure out if they're going to allow the patient to stay overnight, and if they do, they're going to float them up. They're going to let them stay overnight, but if anything changes before the next day or a certain time period, then they may float them to a floor, like a med surg floor or nephrology floor, depending on what type of care they need. Or they will let them go home because they don't see any need to keep them there anymore. So that shows you the different duties. And most people in the ER, you may be doing EKGs, you may be doing scrape caps, you may be doing splints, which you don't do that on the med surg floor because most of that is already done before that person gets up there or done by your nurse. So you also want to look at the hours. Most hospitals do 12-hour shifts now. So if you're not ready for a 12-hour shift, do not jump out there because most hospitals do. Now you do have 8-hour shifts where you can be in outpatient settings and doing 8-hour shifts. And you also can do a 16-hour shift. So if you want to catch 4 more hours and somebody need help or they need a sitter, that's another topic I'll talk about one day. But sitter, where they'll sit with the patient and make sure that the patient don't jump out of the bed or harm themselves, you can be a sitter as well. I've thought when you went to the hospital, you had to be CNA certified, but a lot of CNAs are not CNA certified. They may have a bachelor's degree in something and they want to get some clinical experience. And they also may have worked in a certain field that's similar to it, and they already have the experience that they can use. Another form of working as a CNA is the nursing home. The nursing home, this helps you prepare you for the hospital because you deal with the patient load. The nursing home and the hospital, they deal with a heavy CNA to patient ratio. So you may be a CNA in a nursing home and get 20 patients, but in the hospital you may be a CNA and get 12 patients, but you're doing more in the hospital with these patients as well, but a different range of duties as the person in the nursing home would do. So it's both. The ratios are kind of high for both of them, but different duties again. So you're going to prepare them for events and functions inside of the nursing home, give them rehab assistance. You talk to restorative for that. You got some restorative CNAs. I'll talk about those as well one day, not in this one. You want to clean clothing and help them get it set up and on the hanger because this is their residence. This is where they live. Unlike the hospital, this is not where they live. This is temporary. In a nursing home, this is where that patient lives. So you have to kind of work with them as if you're in their house because that's exactly what you are. Then you have to clean. I already did that. So you have to have large patient ratios that I've told you before, and then some of the shifts range from 4, 8, or 16. Most shifts are 8 and 16 at the nursing home. They try to not split it up because they have nobody to piggyback off of the extra 4 hours that's left over if they did less. So you got to definitely remember that. So the nursing home is a little heavier because you have to do everything for this patient and set this patient up to go to the church or anything that they have to go to. Remember, last but not least, you also want to know that there is home health, where you can deal with 1 to 2 patients. Most of the time it's only 1 patient, but 2 patients if it's like in a nursing facility where their family member wants you to just go out and take care of their mom or their dad together. And sometimes it's at their house where you're just taking care of them together. So a home health aide, which is another type of CNA, will actually go out to the house of that family member or that client, and basically sit with that client, give them some companionship, help them with their ADLs. You can take them to the store, go help them get groceries, or you go get groceries yourself. I mean, you go get their groceries yourself and bring them back. You'll have to cook sometimes, like prepare small meals for them, have to do some light house cleaning. You have to also do laundry for that patient as well, most of the time, if it's in that contract. You also want to make sure that person is taking their medication, so you want to make sure you're giving them medication reminders. That's a big thing. You want to probably you may have to, or if your company may have a service that takes them to their appointments, you will still have to go to the appointments with them if you're on the clock at that time. So a good thing about home health aides, they have more flexibility, more relaxation time, because they're more with the patient, but they're dealing with one patient, so they're able to manage their time better. The more personal basis with that patient makes the patient feel more comfortable, because they know you're gonna come, you're gonna do what you're supposed to do. And that's some people just like that. Some people like working with one person so they can feel like they're doing everything that they can for that patient and not have to run back and forth like in most facilities and wonder if they did what they could do. So that is a good thing. And also they have flexible hours where you can do 4 hours, 2 hours, or 1 hour. If you picked up the shift to help somebody, do 1 hour, 8 hours, 12 hours. And even they have a lot of people have been doing live-in home care. So where they have CNAs that live in the house for 3 days, or some live in there continuously and help the patient 24 hours. So they do have that as well. So that is your home health aide. So what is similar from all ADLs? So activities of daily living is done with all patients. So that's from cleaning them up to helping them take a shower, a bath, brushing their teeth, helping them put on their clothes, helping them dry off, anything that involves the patient getting a task done in order to sit down or rest or to go somewhere. That's their ADLs. So exercising as well. You help them with range of motion. That's their exercising. So another thing is we all notify the nurse of any complications or changes in the patient or the client. And we also need to be CPR certified, so we can do chest compressions if it comes to that. But we all need to be CPR certified to take charge in that situation. Time management is needed for all of them, no matter if you're working with one patient or 2,500. You need to make sure that you have time management, because it can throw you behind. So also I want to say is, before I go, understand your strengths and weaknesses to know which works for you. And you can also just try all of them. If you don't know what works for you, try all of them. It won't hurt. But this is a way to enter the healthcare field in a more easier, relaxed way. But do not think just because you're a CNA and you do less duties than the nurse that you are less important. You are as important as anybody in that facility, because it takes a group. It takes it takes a whole state, family, whatever you want to call it. It takes us all in order to make sure that patient is okay and make sure that patient leaves happy, or that patient leaves with their sickness or their situation being taken care of. So just because, don't let people put you down because you may be a CNA. Is all in what you do. And also, one day I may have one of my friends on here to talk about travel nursing, because if you're looking to make more money and you enjoy what you do, travel nursing may be for you. Until next time, you all have a great one. I love seeing you health enthusiasts, and I hope this helped anybody that wanted to enter the healthcare field to become a CNA and more. That can be a stepping stone for some people, and for some people, they like that. So whatever floats your boat, you all have a good day, and until next time, see you later.